evening. Welcome to my YouTube and Kick streams on YouTube here at Sports Bonanza John and on Kick at Sports Kick John. Here in just a few minutes, I'm going to be doing the matchup between Akron and Kent State, the second and third place teams in the Mid-American Conference. But jumping on a little bit early because we have a developing situation going on in Kalamazoo, Michigan right now between undefeated Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan. Miami of Ohio is in deep trouble. They trail 57-49 to the Broncos of Western Michigan. 7 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. This is about as close as Miami of Ohio has been to a loss this year, and could this finally be the night where the final undefeated goes down? There's 7 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. I wanted to get on and do this game in its entirety, but with my work schedule, these 6 o'clock starts, it just doesn't work for me. So I'm coming on here to do the finish of this one. Miami of Ohio is at the line here for a 1-1. Suter is 1 of 2 at the line for the Redhawks. So now the Broncos in front, 57-50, and 7.5 minutes to play. Broncos just 10-18 on the season, but looking for the win of their season and their best win in quite some time for this Western Michigan team. Again, I am going to be doing the Akron-Kent State game in its entirety, but wanted to get to the end of this game between Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan. And this Miami of Ohio has the ball, and Suter just fouled out of this game for Miami of Ohio. So a big blow here for the Redhawks as Suter fouls out with still over 7 minutes remaining. $18 points tonight for Suter, but he is disqualified to fouls. So Miami will have to try to finish off this comeback without their leading scorer, Peter Suter. Broncos bring it up the floor with E.J. Ryans. Under 7 minutes to play. Broncos up 7. This is Ryans. DJ Ryans gets underneath the basket against a double team. Now we'll pass it back out. 8 to shoot. Carson Weiss on the drive. Right-hand layup is good. Carson Weiss makes it a 9-point lead for Western Michigan, 59-50. Perry puts it up at the other end for the Redhawks and gets fouled. He will head to the line for 2. I believe they got Max Burton on that foul. And now we already saw Travis Steele pick up a technical at the end of the first half in this game. Now the Western Michigan coach better be careful as he's not happy with that call. Both teams are in the penalty. And now getting teed up is Dwayne Stevens. So now both coaches have received a technical as Stevens gets teed up here. First technical free throw is no good. Second, no good either. Perry misses both free throws to keep it a 9-point lead for the Broncos. And now we will have the personal foul free throws. 6:28 remaining. Undefeated Redhawks are down 9, 59-50. Oh, Dwayne Stevens is still fuming mad. First free throw up and good for Perry this time. He will have one more free throw. Missed it. He was just 1 for 4 that time at the line. Knocked out of bounds, however, by the Broncos. It will stay Redhawks ball with 6:27 to play. Western Michigan coming in with just 4 conference wins. They are 4-11 in the MAC. Off the inbound, an easy bucket for Elmer, and that cuts it to 6 at 59-53. E.J. Ryans up across the midcourt stripe for Western Michigan as we approach 6 minutes remaining. Gives it off now to Sherrod Barnes. Ryans again. Ryans on the drive. Ryans will now back it out. 7 to shoot for the Broncos. Ryans is going to have to put up a three-pointer. Good! E.J. Ryans with a 3 to push the lead back to 9 for Western Michigan. 62-53. 5:40 to play. Western Michigan's had an answer every time the Redhawks have threatened to rally. Elmer almost lost it, but Woolfolk gets to the loose ball. Woolfolk sends it out in the corner for 3. That's good. A big three-pointer in the corner for Atlason. And a timeout is called. Almar Atlason with a big 3 to cut it to 6. 62-56 Western Michigan, 5:22 remaining. The Redhawks looking for the rally to stay unblemished on the season. Miami enters the night with a 1-game lead over Akron in the MAC standings. So not only would a loss here drop the Redhawks from the undefeateds, but if they would lose and Akron would win at Kent State, the game I'm getting ready to do here, that would mean a tie atop the MAC standings. I want to mention something. I may be a little bit delayed getting to the start of the Akron-Kent State game because that tip-off is scheduled for 5 minutes from now. I want to stay to the end of this one to see if Miami can come back and stay undefeated. By the way, they have reversed one of the three-pointers earlier for Western Michigan. They have reversed a three-pointer to a two-pointer. I'm not sure which shot that was, but it is 61-56, not 62-56. And now Miami coming with some press off the inbound here for the Broncos. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. Broncos being very patient this offensive series. This is Justice Williams. Now on the outside is Ryans. 10 to shoot for the Broncos. Ryans with a nice bounce pass, but a turnover as the pass was unable to be handled by Max Burton. And back come the Redhawks. And now on the drive, layup up and in, and this is a 3-point game. 61-58 as Atlason with the layup for the Redhawks. Nearing 4.5 minutes remaining. Ryans. Now on the drive, inside the paint, the spin, the shot, and a foul. Shot did not go by Jaden Brewer, but he'll shoot 2. I believe they got that foul on Elmer. 2 free throws coming for the Broncos. 4:23 left. Both teams will be in the double bonus from here on out. Looks like we got some blood here on Max Burton of the Broncos. Jaden Brewer at the line for Western Michigan. And it looks like they got the blood issue resolved on Burton. First free throw on the way from Brewer is good. This to push the lead back to 5 with 4:23 to go. Free throw's good. 63-58 Broncos. Sherrod Barnes returns to the lineup for Western Michigan, replacing Brewer. Redhawks bring it up across midcourt. Broncos up 5 with the ball. 4. This is Ryan outside. Ryan's guarded back out to Ryans with 10 on the shot clock. Ryans will drive. Ryans gets inside. Will turn. Pull the rebound. Pulled down, but the shot clock's going to expire. That's a shot clock violation against Western Michigan. And that's 4 left. Can the Broncos finish off this upset? 53-58. Again, I will be doing the Akron-Kent State game, but I am going to stay for the finish of this Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan game. As soon as this one ends, I'll flip it right over to Akron and Kent State, which looks like it may be delayed anyway. Okay, that game is going to be an 8:05 tip, so still not going to be able to quite get there for the start, but get over there as soon as this one ends. Again, if Miami of Ohio does not come back here, the last undefeated would fall. Plus, if Miami of Ohio loses, Akron will have a chance to tie them for first place in the MAC. So Western Michigan looking to finish this off. Up by 5. It will be Red Hawks inbound here out of the timeout. This is Perry bringing it up for the Red Hawks. Here comes a three-pointer. Good! And this is a 2-point game and a foul on a 3 as well. Atlason hits the 3 and a chance to make this a 4-point play and cut this to a 1-point game. So Atlason trying to complete the 4-point play and bring this to a 1-point game. Can he complete the 4-point play? He does. 63-62. Broncos with 3:20 to go. Redhawks were down 4 at the half. E.J. Ryan's just dribbling on the perimeter. Ryan's now looking to drive inside with 5 to shoot. Jumper just inside the foul line is good for E.J. Ryan's. He's got 14, 65-62. Broncos up 3. There's plenty of time here, 2:45. You don't need a 3 here if you're the Redhawks. They're only 4 of 15 from beyond the arc tonight. Elmer driving inside, puts it up with the right hand and scores with the right hand. Ian Elmer with the shot. That gives him 9, 65-64. And again, Miami is without their leading scorer tonight, Peter Suter, who fouled out. Broncos bring it in. And they get it up across the midcourt stripe. Trey Lewis back over to Ryans. Ryans setting up the offense with 2:15 to go. Ryans. Shot clock down to under 10. And Ryans is still on the perimeter. Now Ryans drives. Ryans puts it up. Missed it. Rebound Redhawks. A chance for the lead with under 2 to play. Woolfolk bounce pass to Elmer on the outside. Elmer looking to drive. Gets cut off. Finds Woolfolk. The spin inside for the lead. Redhawks take the lead. 66-65. 100 seconds to go. Akron and Kent State has just tipped off. I promise I'll get there as soon as this game ends. Redhawks down 9 earlier in the second half have come back to take a 1-point lead. 1:35 to go. Timeout, Western Michigan. Actually, they are just now getting tip-off between Akron and Kent State. Normally, folks, I'm sure, normally I don't do this. When I say I'm going to do a game, I'm going to be with it start to finish. If Miami was not undefeated, this would not be happening. So, apologies for Akron, Kent State, but I want to see, I want to say the finish of this one. They have just now tipped off in Kent, Ohio. It is 66-65 here, Miami leading. 95 seconds to go. This is the Redhawks' first lead since 26-25. Again, Suter has fouled out for the Redhawks. For the Broncos, foul trouble, Max Burton has 4. He's the only Bronco in foul trouble. A couple have 3, but that's not really an issue with 1:35 left. So Western Michigan to inbound from quarter court. And it comes into Ryans. Justice Williams now on the outside. Williams with it with 10 on the shot clock. Williams on the drive. Williams gets inside, nowhere to go, finds his man off the glass. No, rebound pulled down by Miami. Great defensive stand underneath the basket for the Red Hawks. Timeout called by Miami. They're next to last, so both teams now have one timeout left. 1:05 remaining. Red Hawks 66, Broncos 65. This looks like it'll be a full timeout for Miami. So let's reset this. One timeout apiece remaining for each team. Both teams in the double bonus. If there is a held ball, Miami has the possession arrow. Miami looking for the comeback and the comeback to stay undefeated. The final unbeaten team in college basketball. By the way, the Akron-Kent State game is 2.5 minutes in. It's actually still 0-0. Until, nope, still 0-0. So that game is still scoreless. So here we go with 1:05 left. Red Hawks have the ball with 21 on the shot clock. No need to foul here for Western Michigan. There's still over a minute left. Just get a good, solid defensive play. Nonetheless, whatever happens here, the Broncos have been phenomenal on defense. This is a Miami team that scores well over 90 points a game. They have been held to 66 in 39 minutes. In here to Perry. Perry with a minute to go. Perry finds Elmer. Elmer missed it. Tip no, and it's rebounded by the Broncos. Under a minute to play. Western Michigan down one with the ball. Ryans. Outside, here's a three. No. Rebound Miami and a foul with 37.9. Boy, that was a great look by Trey Lewis, but it came up just a little long. And the Red Hawks will have 2 free throws with 37.9 to go. Wow, that was a great look by Lewis. Ian Elmer at the free throw line for 2. First is good. Red Hawks lead by 2. Again, Red Hawks trailed by 9. They have trailed most of this game. Elmer misses the second, so that keeps it a 2-point game. Final half minute, Broncos will use their last timeout. So Western Michigan calls their final timeout. 31.5 seconds remaining. 67-65 Miami. Miami, barring that they don't give up an offensive rebound, should get the ball back. Again, I promise I will get to Akron-Kent State. We finally have a score in that game. 3-0 Kent State. 3+ minutes into that one. So here we go. Western Michigan ball. 23 on the shot clock, 31 and a half seconds on the game clock. In it comes to Ryans. To Williams, back to Ryans on the Broncos logo. 24 seconds. Ryans looking to drive. Ryans gets in the paint, off the glass, no good. Rebound, out of bounds. Western Michigan ball. Elmer got the rebound, but was standing out of bounds. And with 14.8 to go, the Broncos will have it. Broncos inbound under the basket. In on off the inbound shot is good with 12 seconds to tie the game. 12 seconds remaining. This game is tied at 67. But the Red Hawks will have the final possession with 12 seconds to go. Actually, it looks like the clock shows 12 seconds, but it looked like the ball went through at about 12-6, 12-7. So I think they're going to add a few tenths back on the clock here. Actually, it may have been closer to 13 seconds. So I think there will be some more time added to the clock here. Officials are over at the scorers table. Looks like they're leaving the clock as it is with 12 seconds. That looked like there should be at least maybe 7-8 tenths up to a second put back on the clock. Okay, now 12.8. Okay. So 12.8 seconds. Here come the Red Hawks trying to win it and stay undefeated. Perry, we're down to 5. Perry on the drive. Perry layup. Good at the horn. Perry keeps the Red Hawks unbeaten with a shot at the buzzer. Wow. The Red Hawks find a way yet again. Trey Perry took that himself and put it in. Well, actually, I don't think this game's over. This maybe should have about 6-7 tenths on the clock. But Trey Perry with what looks like appears is going to be the game-winning shot that keeps the Red Hawks undefeated. The Red Hawks comeback was with their leading scorer, Peter Suter, on the bench, fouled out. Officials are still looking at the clock. Here's the Perry drive showing the play once again. Perry, there's the drive. Shot goes in about 6 tenths or so, I think. So the Broncos, none are going to have to go the length of the floor here. And with this little time, having to go 4 tenths is where they put the clock. So with this little time, I'm Miami. I don't even guard this inbound pass. I just have all my guys back. Atlason's going to apply some slight pressure on the inbounder, but Somebody took a timeout here, but I thought both teams were out. They just made the call for a 30-second timeout. So possibly somebody had one left, but I thought both teams were out of timeouts. Trey Perry, who got the start tonight in replace of Luke Skaljak, who is out tonight. Trey Perry got the start, has 14 points, but those were probably his two biggest of the season, assuming Western Michigan doesn't come up with a miracle finish here to win it. So here we go with 4/10. And here comes the inbound up to half court. That's good. If it goes, it does not. And the Red Hawks are 29-0, barely. 69-67. Wow. Holy cow. All right, back now to the game. Again, folks, I apologize. I know I had Akron Kent State on the schedule, but I really wanted to do the end of that game. So I apologize for the late start to this one. Now let me get the right screen up here. You don't need my ugly mug on here. Hang on just a second. Okay. All right, here it is, 13-8 Akron. We are 6 minutes into this game and make it 15-8 Akron on a breakaway dunk. Zips lead 15-8. Now a double team underneath the basket. It's Kent State basketball, and they have to take a timeout with the pressure being put on by Akron at the 13:42 mark of the first half. So Akron now trying to stay a game behind the Red Hawks. Akron starting off 6 of 10 from the field for 60%. Kent State's just 3 of 9 for 33%. And Kent State has 4 early turnovers in this game. Following the timeout, more press being shown by Akron, and another timeout has to be called. My goodness. Boy, the Akron press just caused Kent State to have to take 2 timeouts as they could not get the ball in. So it is a 15-8 lead for the Zips with 13:42 remaining in the first half. Coach Rob Senderoff of the Golden Flash is not too happy there with his team having to waste 2 timeouts here, not being able to get the ball in. But you also don't want to risk a turnover underneath your own basket. Here's a corner three-pointer. They finally get it in. It's no good, but it's an offensive rebound for Kent State. And here's another three-pointer. That's off the back rim, no good. And this time Akron comes down with the rebound. In the corner here for Akron is Sharon Young. Young thought about the three, now will drive inside with 7 to shoot, instead kicks it back out. 4 on the shot clock. Tavari Johnson's going to have to put this up with 1 on the shot clock. It barely draws iron. And then another turnover for Kent State. Alley-oop inside, and the finish for Eric Mahaffey. 17-8 Akron. Akron's on a 12-0 run in this game, and we're going to have a foul. Marvin Musime Kamali called for the foul. I hope I got that pronunciation right. That's his first, team third. Kent State has yet to be called for a foul in this game. Golden Flashes haven't scored in a while. Akron's on a 12-0 run, and another Kent State turnover as the bounce pass sailed out of bounds. Whoops. Sorry about that. Here we're going to have our first foul of the game on the Golden Flashes. On the drive inside. Correction, no foul, just out of bounds. My apologies. On the outside here is Amani Lyles. Off now to Shama Scott. Scott sends it back outside, and a three-pointer in the corner is good. Make it now a 15-0 run for Akron, and they lead 20-8. Top of the key three-pointer to finally stop the drought and finally get Kent State back on the board. That's a 3 for Del Recco Gillespie. And now at the other end, we'll finally have our first timeout first foul on Kent State. 11:42 to play, first half. 20-11. Zips lead the Golden Flashes on a Friday night in the Mid-American Conference. And in case you missed it, I was doing the end of the game. Miami of Ohio with a last-second shot by Trey Perry stayed undefeated as they trailed most of that game, but the Red Hawks pull it out 69-67 to move to 29-0 with 2 regular season games to go. What a whale of a finish that was. So Akron looks to stay a game back of Miami. Got a top 10 matchup in Champaign, Illinois tonight between number 3 Michigan and number 10 Illinois. Illinois leads that game 16-14. $12 minutes to play in the first half in Champaign. Run down the scoring in this game so far. Akron is led by a couple players off the bench with 6 points, Eric Mahaffey and Shama Scott. 3 points out of Tavari Johnson and Sharon Young, and 2 points out of Evan Mahaffey. Kent State has only had 3 players score so far. Del Recco Gillespie has 5, and 3 points apiece for Rob Whaley Jr. and Jahari Williamson. Oh, Johnny King jumping in the live chat. Glad to have you, Johnny. Oh, well, it's my pleasure, Akron. And if you tuned in at the beginning, I apologize. I didn't get to this game on time. I was doing the end of that Miami of Ohio game. But this game's still very important in the MAC. Akron is trying to stay a game behind conference leaders of Miami of Ohio, Kent State. Currently in a solid third in the MAC. Probably where they're going to end up, as they have a 3-game lead on fourth place, who's actually tied with Toledo and Ohio. Kent State sits 2 games behind Akron coming into this game. These two teams met back on January the 30th, Akron winning that one 69-52. 2 free throws here. First is up and good. Two for 2 at the line. Zips up 11, 22-11. Kent State brings it up across the midcourt stripe. Outside with it here is Medley. Medley tries a three-pointer in the corner. That's off the back rim. No. Rebound pulled down by Akron. Mahaffey with that rebound. Akron working it around the perimeter. Now with it is Scott. Got great ball movement here, and Akron misses a three-pointer from Amani Lyles. Rebound pulled down by Kent State. At the other end, a three-pointer. That's good. Morgan Safford with the three-pointer, and that makes it 22-14. At the other end, an answered three for Akron. Sharon Young with the three-pointer. He's got 6. Akron's hit 5 threes here in the first 9 minutes. Top of the key 3 at the other end, no good. This has become a 3-point shooting contest here. Akron up 11. With it now on the outside is Scott. Scott looking to drive. Instead, a nice bounce pass, but it's taken away by Kent State. And they do have numbers, but they'll kick it out for an open 3 that is good. Cian Medley with the three-pointer. 25-17. Akron up 8. Mahaffey kicks it back out for a deep 3 that is good. Sharon Young with his third 3 of the half. 28-17 Akron. Yeah, Johnny, I thought so too. The Western Michigan looked like they had that game in the bag, especially when Suter fouled out. That's what made that come back even more miraculous. There's a shot there under the basket for Kent State to make it 28-19. And we've got a foul underneath the basket here on the Golden Flashes. This is going to be against... Who did they get that foul on? Got Cian Medley for that foul. That's his first. Just the team's second. And an under the basket inbound for Akron. Zips to inbound. Tavari Johnson to inbound from under the basket. Johnson, bounce pass, almost a turnover there for Akron, and now it is, as we're going to have a foul on Akron following the turnover. It's like they got Sharon Young with the foul. That'll be his first, team's fourth. Yeah, he pushed off there. .9:29 on the clock here in the first half. Kent State down 9. Boy, Akron's on pace for almost a 60-point half here. And this what makes it funnier is this game was scoreless till about 3 minutes into the ball game. Turnaround shot with the right hand is no good, and back comes Akron the other way. Almost another turnover there. Working it around the perimeter now. This is Tavari Johnson. Johnson. Over to Lyles. Now in the corner, wide open three-pointer off the front of the rim. No. Rebound pulled down by Kent State. Gillespie with the rebound. Open three-pointer, good. And that's a three-pointer for Jahari Williamson. He's got 6, and that cuts the Akron lead to 6. Timeout, Zips. Kent State 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. Akron 6 of 11. So both teams doing a lot of their offense from behind the arc. In that January 30th game against Akron, Kent State from three-point range, as I said, they're 5 for 10 tonight. In that previous game and from three-point range in that game, Kent State was 1 for 23. So a much better shooting percentage from beyond the arc tonight in this one. (28-22), Akron in front, 8:47 remaining in this first half. Zips bring it up across the midcourt stripe here. Working it around the perimeter is Akron. Down to 8 to shoot. And now driving. Wide open three in the corner, back rim. No. Rebound pulled down by Kent State. Golden flashes, a chance to get even closer. Fast break layup. No, but a foul is called. And there will be 2 free throws coming. With 8:15 to play in the first half. Looks like that foul is going to go on Zach Halligan. And to the line for Kent State will be, I hope I get this pronunciation right, Quinn Widke. First free throw, no good. One more coming. Missed it. 0 for 2 at the line to keep the lead 6 for Akron. And Akron is going to turn it over here for the third time. The first looks like a palming violation against Lyles. Musimi Kamali returns to the lineup for Akron. On the outside here is Williamson. Down under 8 to go in the half. A strip and a steal. Back comes Akron the other way. That's the 6th Kent State turnover. Jumper in the paint is up and good. Evan Mahaffey with the jumper. 30-22. Akron back up by 8. Bounce pass inside to Gillespie. Gillespie, dangerous pass across the court. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Zips, Eric Mahaffey. And the runner inside is no good, but a foul is going to be called. And that will bring us to the under 8 timeout with 7:15 to play in the first half. 30-22 lead for Akron, looking to stay a game behind the Redhawks in the MAC standings. 2 regular season games remaining. Akron didn't really get a chance to preview this game with me being at the end of that other game, but Akron comes into this game winners of 13 of their last 14 games. Their only loss in that span was back on February 7th, and it was a non-conference game. That was in that MAC Sunbelt Challenge. They lost to Troy 79-69. But as far as conference play goes, Akron has won 13 in a row in conference play. Their only loss in the MAC is to Miami of Ohio, 76-73. That was back at the beginning of January. Those 2 teams will not meet again in the regular season. Akron's final 2 games, they're at Central Michigan on Tuesday, and they wrap up at home next Friday against Northern Illinois. Kent State's final 2, they are at Northern Illinois on Tuesday. They wrap up the regular season next Friday at home against Western Michigan. As these are the 2nd and 3rd place teams in the MAC. If Kent State can win this game tonight, they will solidify no worse than 3rd place in the MAC. Akron looking for win number 24 on the season. And their 14th consecutive win in conference play. Looks like Rob Whaley Jr. for Kent State. Looks like he might be banged up here. See what happened here. There's a play under the basket. Whaley, it's his left foot, left ankle injury of some kind for Whaley, so sure hope he's going to be okay. Whaley's 3rd leading scorer on this Kent State team, 11.5 points a game. So here's Eric Mahaffey at the line. First free throw, no good. One more free throw coming for Eric Mahaffey. Missed them both. Rebound Kent State. Golden Flashes down 8, 7 to play in the first half. Nice pass inside, and the finish with the easy layup underneath. 30-24. Kent State hanging around with the 2nd place Akron Zips here in the first half. And that was despite Akron going on a 15-0 run earlier this half. On the outside is Tavari Johnson. Johnson pulls up for 3. Got it. Tavari Johnson on target. 33-24. Akron back up by 9. That's Akron's 7th three-pointer of the first half. And now we've got a foul on the Zips on the other end. Oh, and now Delrico Gillespie looks like he's holding his right shoulder. So a couple of Kent State players banged up here. That's a 6-team foul on Akron, so Kent State will have free throws for the remainder of the half. So Whaley and Gillespie banged up here for Kent State. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Zips. Evan Mahaffey with it. Evan Mahaffey now trying to drive, but guarded well. Mahaffey turns, puts it up with the right hand, cannot get the roll. Rebound pulled down by Kent State. 5:45 to go in the half. Bounce pass outside, three-point shot on the way and good. 33-27. And there's a turnover. Well, however, it was going to be a turnover by Williamson, but he stepped out of bounds. And so Akron's going to keep it. That was Morgan Safford that hit that last three for Kent State, so he becomes the first player in double figures tonight. 10 on the shot clock here for Akron as Tavari Johnson has it. Shot clock down to 5. Nice pass inside to Tavari Johnson. A great pass from Eric Mahaffey to find the cutting Johnson. 35-27. At the other end, inside, shot no good, follow no good, and Akron will pull down the rebound. Chance to go back up double digits. But the Zips turn it over, and we've got a foul before this layup attempt against Akron. That'll be the second foul, I believe, on Lyles. And now that's the 7th-team foul, so it'll be 1-1 here for Kent State. Gillespie, who went out with that right shoulder banged up a couple minutes ago. Good to see he's coming back in this game. Cyan Medley at the line for a 1-1. First is good. Medley will have one more. Second free throw, also good. Akron lead is a half dozen, 35-29. 4.5 remaining here in the first half. Tavari Johnson. Johnson kicks it outside to Mahaffey, Eric Mahaffey. And in the corner for 3, that's too strong. Pass tipped out, and Akron saves the possession. Shama Scott. Scott sends it back for an open three-pointer that misses short, and that will go out of bounds to Kent State. Bringing it up across the timeline are the Golden Flashes. And almost a turnover there, and now it is as Akron gets the steal. And they will slow it up here. They had a fast break, but passed it up. Instead, will take a three-pointer at the top of the key and hit it. 38-29. Folks, my computer has froze up here, so at the timeout, I'm going to have to do a quick reboot here. So if I go offline at the timeout, I will be right back on. My computer is absolutely froze up right here. Jumper there goes down, and now it's 38-31. Off the glass, shot no good, knocked out of bounds by Kent State. It'll stay with Akron. And a timeout with 2:56 to play in the first half. Zips, who have led pretty much throughout this game, lead it by 7, 38-31. Again, folks, I'm going to have to do a quick reboot here. If I go off, I may go offline for just a few seconds. I will be right back, so bear with me here. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what. That's the first time that's happened. But I think we're back all good now. 38-31. Akron leading Kent State. Again, apologies for that little technical mishap or whatever that was. 2:53 remaining in the first half. This is a long-time rivalry between these two teams. They are meeting for the 169th time all-time, and Akron has a slight 86-82 edge in the series, but they have won 6 in a row in this series with Kent State. It'll be Akron here out of the timeout, inbounding under the basket. Off the inbound, a 3 in the corner, no good. Rebound pulled down by Kent State. Nearing 2.5 to play here in the first half. Williamson. Now bounce pass inside, off the glass, no. Can Akron save it? They do before it goes out of bounds. Nice save there by the Zips. On the drive, shot up and good with the right hand. That's Tavari Johnson. He's now in double figures for Akron, and the Zips lead at 40-31. At the other end, three-pointer around the rim and off. Rebound pulled down by the Zips. Chance for a double-digit lead once again. Johnson. Nice pass inside to the cutting Sharon Young and the finish. 42-31. And another Kent State turnover. Outside three-pointer is good by Sharon Young, and Akron takes the lead by 14, 45-31. Quick 7-0 run here for the Zips. Kent State trying to answer with a three, and they do. A much-needed three-pointer. I believe that was Rayvon Griffith with that three-pointer. And a bad pass there by Akron, stolen by Kent State. And not out of bounds, off the knee. Cyan Medley is adamant that went off Akron, and he's asking for a review. Question is, do you use it in the first half? Because if you don't win that challenge, you can't challenge again the rest of the game, and Kent State will not challenge. $11-point lead for the Zips. Final minute, first half. Here's Tavari Johnson on the outside. Johnson looking to get loose. 6 to shoot for Johnson. He'll back it out. And now a silly foul out there with 3 on the shot clock. Jahari Williamson. Boy, that's not a good foul by Williamson. Boy, that possession looked like it was going nowhere offensively, and Williamson just with a push on the outside. It is only the 4th team foul. So, yes, Kent State had 3 fouls to give, but with the shot clock down to 3 and that possession going nowhere, kind of hated to use one there. Here's Eric Mahaffey. Shot clock down to 5 again for Akron. I got to put something up here with 2 on the clock. Driving layup off the glass with 1 on the shot clock. Shama Scott gets the layup to go, 47-34. Shot clock is off. Kent State can run for the final shot of the half here. Down to 10 seconds. Down to 5. Kent State will try a three-pointer. That's good, and a big 3. Makes it 47-37, and that's how the first half will come to a close. 47-37, Akron leading Kent State at intermission. Akron looking for their 14th consecutive win in conference play. And they're up 10 at the half here, but Kent State got a big three-pointer right before the first half expired by Cyan Medley. Akron up 10 at intermission, 47-37 over Kent State. Folks, going to call a quick pause to the live stream here for about 10 minutes. I've got to go get myself some water because after doing the end of that Miami of Ohio game, the voice is a little crackly here. So I'm going to have to go get me some water. So I'm going to pause here briefly for about 10 minutes. Be back right before the second half. We'll run down some first half stats and get you ready for a second half that sees Akron leading at the half, 47-37 over Kent State in this second versus third place matchup in the MAC with 20 minutes to go. Brief pause, everybody, and I'll be